bozos? This is Bloodstain Lane, aka the John Nada of combat sports. Today's video is going to be a bit of a touchy subject. It might be somewhat controversial. It involves one of my favorite fighters of all time, the late Edwin Valero, aka El Inca. And obviously, everybody knows the story of Edwin, a very tragic one. He was involved in a murder-suicide, allegedly killing his wife. And we're gonna break this video down into three subjects. It's gonna be Edwin the boxer, Edwin, my little conspiracy theory I have involving this whole case, and just my final thoughts on the matter. Edwin Valero was a Venezuelan boxer. Fought at lightweight, junior welterweight. He held both titles in both weight classes. He was 27-0, 27 knockouts. 19 of those knockouts came in the first round. He has notable wins over Antonio Pitulua, Antonio DeMarco. If you're a boxing fan, you know Edwin had devastating, murderous punching power in both hands. He was just a wild man in the ring. He fought with this relentless. He had a craze in his face when he fought that I've personally never seen in combat sports, and I watch all combat sports. I mean, it was truly something to withhold. A lot of people classified him as strictly a brawler, but I disagree. He had a great boxing skills, which he showed against Antonio DeMarco. If you watch the sparring sessions with Eric Morales, obviously destroyed Eric Morales in the sparring sessions. He was truly a treasure in the boxing world. I'm going to quote Hans Olsen wrote an amazing article for Boxing Insider. He quoted saying, Edwin wasn't just a great fighter. He was an anti-hero, a cult icon. He was boxing's rock and roll outlaw in the vein of Sid Vicious. Edwin had that kind of tenacity in the ring that you didn't know still existed. When you watched Edwin fought, you felt like you were part of a club that knew something others didn't. And that's pretty much why I loved Edwin Valero. You know what I'm saying? He was like a cult icon, a cult hero. The only way you could really watch Edwin fights were on YouTube. He fought most of his fights in Japan, and when you watched him, you knew something special about this kid. It was just amazing. That's why he has the cult fan base that he had. I don't think people really know the magnitude of this loss into the world of combat sports and to the world of boxing. I mean, boxing lost one of its great fighters. I think Edwin Valero was a guy who would have beaten Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. That's how I felt about him. Definitely, after Costa Tszyu retired, Edwin Valero became my favorite boxer, and I was actually devastated by the loss of Edwin Valero. Now, moving on to the next, it's going to be, obviously the tragic loss of, of his wife Jennifer Valero, rest in peace, and, him killing himself. But before we go into that, Edwin was involved in a terrible motorcycle accident back in 2001 where he suffered severe brain damage. Was never really the same after that again. And he fought most of his career with brain damage. He had led to bad mental illness. Now, if you follow the story, and I really dug deep into this over the last year, it's been a year. It's been a year since this story. A year since the tragic incident. Edwin allegedly stabbed his wife in a hotel room. That they checked in. Some holes in the story, some fishy stuff going on. Like after Jennifer Valero was, stabbed to death, Edwin called her cousin and told her that his wife is murdered, that they were followed to the hotel by some underworld thugs that were trying to kidnap him. He also told the same story to the police, and when he was getting locked up, he told the police that he didn't want to be locked up by himself, that he was scared. Months before this tragic incident, Edwin Valero's wife was actually shot in a drive-by shooting in front of their house. She was shot in the leg in a motorcycle drive-by, which could validate what Edwin Valero was saying, that there was some underworld thugs / kidnappers / drug dealers after him. There was definitely some fishy stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? For his wife to get hit in a drive-by shooting, and then for him to tell cops and Edwin and Jennifer Valero's cousin that there was people following them. Also, the murder weapon was never found. Of Edwin Valero stabbed his wife inside a hotel room and then went down to to admit it, like whatever crappy story that was told by these people. Wouldn't the murder weapon be found? Shouldn't it be somewhere in the hotel room or somewhere even within the hotel grounds? It was never found, the murder weapon. Just really, really, fishy, fishy stuff. Also, another thing that that I really examined when cops brought Edwin Valero in to the jail, he walked in with and there's pictures of it on the internet, being locked up. He had sweatpants on. When they locked him up in the cell and the suicide photos showed up, which I seen personally, and they're really kind of gruesome. Edwin Valero hung himself with a pair of brand new jeans. You know what I'm saying? He went in with sweatpants on. How did he hang himself with jeans? And then there was a picture of him and his family in his mouth. Now, I don't know. To me, and the doctors who did the autopsy said there was some fishy foul play going on, and whatever. Manny Pacquiao even said there was some fishy foul play. There was some sort of conspiracy going on with this thing. I mean, there's a lot of holes in this story. From stemming from the drive-by shooting to Jennifer Valero to Edwin saying that he was followed by underworld thugs, there was kidnappers after him. Now this is Venezuela. Venezuela is a country that's a lot of shady stuff goes on over there. These are just some from the year of following and reading articles. These are some things that I came across. You know what I'm saying? Like holes in this story. Now, am I saying Edwin Valero is innocent? Absolutely not. Edwin Valero had a history of, he had mental illness. He had a history of, domestic violence and some sort of outburst and this and that. But I like to keep an open mind to certain things. I like to dig deep. I don't believe everything I'm told. You know what I'm saying? I like to, find holes in the story and see what I could put together. Now, I'm not validating anything here. I'm not saying Edwin's guilty or Edwin's innocent. I'm just saying keep an open mind to the story. We don't know the full facts, and we're probably never going to know the full facts, of what exactly happened. That being said, rest in peace to Jennifer Valero, beautiful young woman, Edwin's wife. He left behind two beautiful young children. Edwin Valero, I was devastated when I found out this. I didn't even want to watch boxing anymore after I found out about this. It really, truly touched home with me. You will be missed in the boxing world for sure. I mean, your fights were like nothing else I've ever seen. You really were a cult icon. You were a madman in the ring. You had the big Hugo Chavez tattoo on your chest. You stood out from everybody else, and I still watch your fights to this day. I like to, like I say, rest in peace to Jennifer again. My condolences to the whole family, the beautiful young children who are going to have to grow up without both parents. Keep them in mind. And, yeah, I mean, tragic, tragic story. I suggest everybody go watch some Edwin Valero fights. Do your research on the story. Definitely something that touched home with me. And that being said, Bloodstain Lane's out.